Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 132 based on novel. So let's start. Nanshan armament? The Nanshan armament is a weapon which was infused with the two great origin laws of gold and space. It was one of the 9 ultimate weapons for the controller spirit readers. To actually use the Nanshan armament at the star level was an unbelievable thing to do. The Nanshan armament was separated into 9 levels. Just the first level alone required one to have a comprehension of the gold origin laws along with an extremely strong amplifier to unleash it properly. It took Luo Feng a few months in the actual world along with 10 days of serious training in this elimination stage to finally get a grasp of the basics and to reach a level where it may work. For a star level to actually master the first level would mean that he would be invincible in the same entire grade. Invincible, that alone represented its power. You can use the Nanshan armament? The green-haired youth's eyes was filled with shock. This is my first time actually using it in a battle. Luo Feng carried the dark golden long rod on his back, gently landing on an undamaged villa's roof. The green-haired youth couldn't help but feel nervous. After all, the reputation of the Nanshan armament was huge. The strong willpower and fighting spirit within him caused the youth to burn with passion as he shouted, "Madman, this is the final day for the elimination. To be able to meet an opponent like you, it really makes me happy. Make sure to use your full strength and let me see properly just how strong the legendary Nanshan armament is. I won't disappoint you." Luo Feng squinted. The two faced off with less than 100 meters between each other, standing on 2 separate rooftops. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed as he pointed at the green-haired youth. Immediately, the dark golden long rod released a beam of golden light. Those 9 cicada wing-thin little golden blades dispersed and their incredibly complex engravings began to emit a golden stream of energy and started to interlink. To actually connect them together into a perfect body was incredibly difficult. When he used the soaring shuttle in the past and was finally able to complete the swordfish formation, he still was not able to fully infuse it with the origin laws. And at this time, in an instant, he used all of his comprehension of the gold origin laws into one attack, putting his all into one move. Even after all this, Luo Feng could feel that his comprehension wasn't enough. He had only a basic grasp of this first level. He was still far from completing it. A dreamy golden orb engulfed in golden light revolved before Luo Feng. The entire dreamy golden blade was hard to see clearly. A powerful energy emitted from that golden blade, causing the space around to ripple. The dreamy golden blade immediately shot towards the distant green-haired youth. The instant that it shot out, because it was too fast, it became a golden rainbow, raw. The green-haired youth grit his teeth, the veins on his forehead straining and protruding as he used his full strength to control his spirit weapon, Ang. The 2 crescent discs were like 2 children playing with each other. One playing around while the other chased, making one unable to clearly see it as it soared into the wind to deflect that terrifying golden rainbow rumble. The golden blade rainbow clashed into the 2 discs. With an explosion, the 2 discs were knocked away into the villa below. Pa! With a clang, one of the discs smashed into a window, causing it to smash open immediately as glass shards flew in all directions. After the clash, the golden blade stopped for a brief moment before becoming a golden rainbow again and shot towards the green-haired youth. How can this be? The green-haired youth revealed shock and fear as the round disc below his feet split into 2, becoming 2 crescent discs that went to intercept, rumble. The golden rainbow once again clashed with them and the 2 discs were knocked away again, following which, the golden rainbow shot towards the green-haired youth's body. He didn't even bother to dodge. He just stood there, staring straight at Luo Feng and communicating mentally, "Madman, I used the wrong move. The next time I will definitely win, definitely." The voice roared within Luo Feng's ears as the golden rainbow pierced right through the youth's forehead. The green-haired youth's body fell from mid-air before rolling on the roof and landing within that villa. "You indeed made a mistake." Luo Feng landed beside that body, saying seriously, "You've already stepped into the gateway of the origin laws. Originally, it wouldn't have been that easy for me to kill you. But you chose to fight using force with force. Who else can you blame?" Even though he hadn't used the Nanshan armament before in a real battle in the virtual universe slaughterhouse, in order to grow accustomed to the Nanshan armament, Luo Feng had chosen a variety of star-level opponents. All of them with different comprehension of the origin laws, be it gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, light, time or space, allowing him to gain lots of experience. Gold was hard and strong, extremely sharp and piercing. Wind was formless, flexible beyond compare. While walking different paths, the battle techniques and strategies would naturally have their own differences. Luo Feng had stepped into the gold origin law entrance. Hence, his attacks were naturally strong with a piercing form which destroyed everything before him. While using the most suitable gold origin law weapon Nanshan armament, his power was extreme. Windmill chose to use brute force to fight with Luo Feng. It wasn't strange for him to die. The main factor was that the green-haired youth Windmill was shocked and scared by the reputation of the Nanshan armament. Along with the fact that they were at a stalemate before, only right before death did he realize the best way to deal with madmen. The battle between madman and Windmill caused a huge commotion which attracted many geniuses from within the north district of the city. But by the time they actually arrived close enough to view the battle, it was already over. Windmill lost. Windmill was actually killed? That's too unbelievable. I didn't see wrongly right. Even Windmill lost. Who can match up to madman? In the distance, a group of geniuses were extremely shocked. Windmill was much stronger than Devil, Ice Thread and even Bones. Many of them had guessed and even believed that the winner of the fight between madman and Windmill would have been Windmill. After all, Windmill's success was intrepid, and he had always been way above others, without any failure before. He had always been very relaxed, slaughtering all those who appeared in his path. Many had assumed from early on that this city's number one was Windmill, that madman is too strong. Madman's final golden light, just what was that? Wasn't it said that madman's skill from the spirit weapon was a golden fish? Right, since madman killed Windmill, I wonder just how many points he would get. Although Windmill lost half his points, he definitely still has a lot. As for madman, his points right now must be even higher than Windmill's. Luo Feng carried the dark golden long rod and flew away from the villa into a distant residential area, immediately landing on a balcony. 30th day of the elimination. Today is the final day. Luo Feng sat there quietly, arranging his thoughts. Of the 30 days, it was the final 20 days that he had immersed himself in the madness, totally committing himself to slaughtering. The number of people killed by him ranged in the thousands. From that bloodbath, the name Madman rose to new heights. However, Luo Feng didn't want to bring that mentality and form back to reality. Luo Feng sat cross-legged quietly while suppressing the bloodlust that ached from his bones, hiding it deep within. This Windmill really had so many points. Before this, his rank was indeed 42. Luo Feng looked down at the screen on his wrist. The numbers on it made people's hearts race. Participant, Luo Feng, Black Dragon Mountain Empire, points, 32,178,201 rank, 51-inch by killing Windmill. I actually acquired over 18 million points. Luo Feng was shocked. By killing an absolute warrior, the number of points one got was indeed abundant. Prior to this battle, he only had close to about 14 million, not even close to the earnings from just this one battle. However, Windmill did mention that he had killed a strong warrior from another city, getting over 10 million points. The fastest way to get points is to kill an absolute warrior. The best way is to go to each city and hunt. Luo Feng thought. For example, by killing every city's number one, he estimated that he could get over 100 million points. Of course, the requirement was to be able to kill them. When Luo Feng killed Windmill, his rank simply jumped from 102 to 51 directly. This attracted many of the Gunwu universe countries' powers and organizations to pay attention to him. Before, when he made it to the top 1001, the ones watching him were mostly the trillions of citizens in the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. However, after making it to rank 51, things were different. The higher one's standing got, the more crazy the strength levels were. Every world's top 3 could all be said to be true geniuses who definitely stepped through the gateway of the origin laws. Every world's top 100, there would be some absolute geniuses who've also stepped through the gateway of the origin laws. The difference in ranks were linked directly to each person's choices. Some absolute warriors, like Luo Feng and Windmill, if they chose to not only stay within their own cities, but wander throughout the 91 cities and hunt the absolute warriors, they may meet certain brick walls. However, the higher possibility was that they'd be able to make it to the world's top 10. Search all of Luo Feng's information. This Luo Feng, to be able to reach rank 51, he must be a battle genius with a domain of at least level 8. He might even be a stronger absolute genius who's already begun to comprehend the origin laws. Black Dragon Mountain Empire. From that little out-of-the-way place, there's actually a genius who was able to make it to rank 51. It is rare indeed. Black Dragon Mountain Empire has always been a lower-level country within the Gunwu universe country's many territories. At the time, within the enormous luxurious living room of the universe ship which gathered all of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's governing officials and royalty. Congratulations, Your Majesty. Elation, Your Majesty, rank 51, a 2-digit number. Up to 1,000 people within the hall had erupted in joy. A 3-digit rank compared to a 2-digit or 1-digit rank, the honor associated with each was completely different. As for the 3 from the Black Dragon Mountain who had made it temporarily through the first round, Hong's standing was 999. Nabini's standing was 860. Luo Feng's standing was 51. From one look it was clear that Hong and Nabini could be considered amongst the elite geniuses of the Black Dragon Mountain. But Luo Feng was definitely an absolute warrior capable of making it into the top ranks of the Ganwu Universe country, a 2-digit number. Your Majesty, right now within the entire Black Dragon Mountain Island, the trillion citizens are incomparably excited. Sitting above everybody else, the Emperor's face too could hardly conceal his joy. Laughing out loudly and roaring, in this elimination, our empire has done not bad. Looking at how things are going, there may very likely be 3 people making it through. Hong and Nabini are outstanding. As for Luo Feng, is the pride of our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. This Luo Feng has done us great honor. Great honor. The Emperor's voice grew even brighter. We must reward him, heavily reward him. When Luo Feng the madman finally put down his bloodthirsty blade and hid within a residential building to quietly wait for the end of the elimination, within the huge skyscraper of the 72nd world, the currently ranked 999 Hong was still fighting hard. Because it was the last day, the battles were incredibly intense and brutal. This was especially true between the group of people whose ranks were close to 1,000. They could rise anytime or drop anytime. I have to make sure I stay alive. The moment I die, I will lose half my points and I'll definitely drop out of the top 1001. In a destroyed house with broken windows, Hong dressed in all black closed his eyes. Also, I have to try my best to kill a few others and push myself forward a little more. Hong had many thoughts on his mind, but his entire being was incomparably calm and collected. As tranquil as a mirror. His entire being was incredibly relaxed, like a void, allowing him to detect any movement or noise around him. Among Earth's top 3 warriors, he and Thunder God had the longer lives, experiencing much more. Even though Thunder God too had some comprehension of the Chinese martial arts, his main expertise was in yoga. During the Great Nirvana he completely immersed himself in martial arts. His entire being loved the arts. With a pure heart, it was easy for him to fuse and reach perfection, allowing him to let his yoga fuse perfectly with himself. Hong was different. He was trained from a young age to be an assassin. An assassin's strength control was very meticulous. The Chinese martial arts helped him with his control of internal energy, along with his mental state control. As an assassin, he naturally formed his own path. And after the Great Nirvana, the base era, the swallowing beast incident, along with all the hardships and training, Hong had an impeccable control of every bit of energy and power within himself. This is why he became number 1 of the 3 brothers. Among the 3, Luo Feng was the youngest. In terms of comprehension, willpower, and talent, he didn't lack any. However, he never received Chinese martial arts training. In close combat, his energy use and technique couldn't compare to Hong or Thunder God. However, Luo Feng was still the strongest among the 3. Firstly, his talent allowed him to become the disciple of the Yunmo planet. Second, he sacrificed himself and immolated his soul, possessing the golden horned beast in that battle. This allowed Luo Feng to stand on a much higher stage, as he was able to compare himself with the countless clans and absolute geniuses within the vast universe's human race. Within the house, Luo Feng sat cross-legged, quietly awaiting the end of the elimination countdown. 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, a deep boomy voice reverberated throughout the survivors' minds in the 100 worlds, making many within these worlds get anxious and thus panic. I'm almost there. I was 1001 just now, right now I'm 1002, it's too late, kill, you won't be able to make it into the top 1001. As long as you let me kill you, I'll definitely heavily repay you when we get out. Bullshit, heavily repay? There's no contract or proof of these things within the virtual universe system. It sounds good now, but if you simply deny everything later, can I even do anything? At the final countdown, it was madness within the worlds. Luo Feng just patiently waited. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teleport. The survivors within the 100 worlds immediately vanished, and later the virtually simulated worlds too all crumbled and returned to nothing. Simultaneously, the final rankings were officially announced. The elimination has ended. The candidates have all been picked. Luo Feng was sent to the air above the island of Black Dragon Mountain, a constant beeping sound. Luo Feng, there are 371 call requests. Oh, right now it's become 398. It's continuing to rise. Barbata's familiar voice spoke out, "Ha ha, Barbata, it's been a long time since I heard your voice." Luo Feng stood in the air above the Black Dragon Mountain. Beside him in midair there were many human silhouettes, all the survivors from the elimination. However, surviving didn't mean that they made it into the top 1001, those worlds all have barriers against virtual assistance. Barbata said helplessly, "The virtual universe system is simple too strong, there's no way around it." Luo Feng nodded. Anywhere in the universe people could easily instantly connect into the virtual universe with their consciousness, allowing countless people to enter. Even within the virtual universe, countless secret techniques could be simulated, even origin laws could be simulated. This was simply too scary. Maybe the origin laws weren't even secret techniques within the virtual universe. Virtual Universe Company was after all one of the universe humans' 5 great leviathans. And the other 4 leviathans hadn't even grasped such level of skill. This Virtual Universe Company was the sole company capable of such a feat as building a virtual universe. It makes one afraid to even imagine just how deep and huge the company was. Right now there are 453 phone call requests and 892 mails. Barbata said, "Let's leave the virtual universe first." Luo Feng's thoughts moved. His consciousness returned to reality and then reconnected back to the virtual universe. On Black Dragon Mountain Island, 9-Star Bay, Luo Feng appeared at his own living area grass patch. Returning to the virtual universe from reality, it could be said that if one owned a property in virtual universe, they would always return their property the moment they entered the virtual universe. Hence, Luo Feng returned back to the 9-Star Bay little district at his house, Big Brother, 30. A familiar voice resounded. Almost simultaneously appearing at his own house entrance was Hong and Luo Feng. They both turned to look. It was Thunder God. Luo Feng and Hong both walked over. "You two did pretty good, one with rank 982 and the other 51. Thunder God frowned. "However, my luck was bad, essentially like stepping in dog shit. I unexpectedly ran into our world savage. That guy is simply too abnormal. He definitely stepped into the gateway of the origin laws, as he decimating me with one move. That's strong." Luo Feng and Hong were both somewhat shocked. Thunder God smiled. "If Big Brother and 30 met Savage, they'd definitely be a little better than me. You both made it into the top 1001. So there's a chance you'll meet him in the arena. I barely made it into the top 1001, still third brother is the strongest." Hong smiled at Luo Feng. 30 is very strong indeed. Thunder God nodded too. Hong and Thunder God, in terms of age, were much older than Luo Feng. They almost gave a mental-like feeling. However, it was clear that this little brother had a shocking amount of power. 30, work hard. The stronger you get, the brighter the future of our Earth will be. Hong patted Luo Feng on his shoulder. "Dad." Luo Feng. At this time a group of people appeared at the entrance. It was Luo Feng's family. The end of the elimination. Every world's top 1001 had made it through the elimination. A total of 100 worlds, a total of 100,100 people. At the same time every world's number 1 would immediately be placed in the final name list. The top 1,000 of the Ganwu Universe country had the rights to participate in the Universe Humans Genius Battle. These 1,000 would then represent the Ganwu Universe country, as they competed against the geniuses from the rest of the universe, bringing out the best of the best from the Universe Humans. The Ganwu Universe country had slots for 1,000 people. Right now, those who came first in their respective world would be automatically given a spot. Hence, a total of 100 places were already taken. The remaining 100,000 would have to fight for the remaining 900 slots. Black Dragon Mountain Empire's Luo Feng, Hong and Nabini will compete amidst the 100,000 as only 900 of these participants would get the right to enter that final name list. The elimination rate was still very high. To be able to make it into that final name list, they were all absolute geniuses that everybody envied. They would make countless organizations and powers vie for them as their future elites and new seedlings. They were all capable of being regarded as cream of the crop. From the end of the elimination, the arena fights would happen a month later. However, this month, Luo Feng actually faced the problems of a celebrity. There were many powers within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire who came looking for him. Not just that, but even a few super organizations from the Ganwu Universe country had sent people over to look for him, hoping he would join them and put his name in their companies. Reject them all. Just tell them all that right now I'm immersing myself in training and putting my all into preparing for the arena fights. I can't be distracted. Luo Feng was helpless with this trouble and could only resort to this response. On the 16th day since the end of the elimination. Solar System, Mars. Luo Feng was on the sand-filled Mars, testing out his Nanshan armament, 1st form, go. Return. Luo Feng controlled that dark golden long rod that became a golden rainbow and flew at breakneck speed and returned. And while controlling this golden rainbow's complex arc movements, it was very clear that his sense of control was still rigid, as he was unable to fully make it move like a flowing river. Within the arena fights, my opponents will all be extremely powerful. The lowest would at least be like my big brother. There will be many with similar strength to mine. There might even be others who are much stronger than me. Then, I'm afraid I'll have to use the Nanshan armament immediately. Luo Feng was very clear that there were only strong opponents in the arena fights. He'd have to use his trump card from the beginning and push forward. Hopefully he'll make it into the top 1,000. Only that way will he have the right to go compete with other absolute warriors from the other universe countries. Luo Feng, hurry into the virtual universe. Barbata's voice resounded. Luo Feng was curious. Virtual universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island, 9-star Bay small district. When Luo Feng appeared outside his own home, he could see that his living room was filled with many guests. Big Brother, Hong and Thunder God are currently inside entertaining the guests. You should quickly go in. Luo Hua said as he saw Luo Feng. Who are they? Luo Feng asked curiously. Didn't he reject every organization from coming here? It's the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's envoys who were especially sent by the Emperor himself. Luo Hua said softly, this special envoy team, I heard they actually brought an order from the Emperor himself. The special team is led by a sector lord and I heard that his position is extremely high. Also, within the team there's also the basic level universe country, the Silver Blue Empire's Emperor. Silver Blue Empire's Emperor? Luo Feng was shocked. The Silver Blue Empire governed over the Milky Way's 8 great galaxies. This emperor actually followed a special team over. Their visit this time is mainly because of you. Luo Hua said, I'll go take a look. Luo Feng nodded and walked briskly into the living room. There were a total of 11 people in that living room. Thunder God, Hong and the other 9 who no one recognized were all sitting at the long table. 33rd brother. Thunder God and Hong stood up. The other 9 turned to look, and simultaneously 8 of them stood up. Only one old man in the center with long silver hair remained seated as he turned to carefully examine Luo Feng, revealing a smile. Luo Feng, I, Bu Asuka, am here on behalf of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire's Emperor. My respects, Lord Asuka. Luo Feng quickly bowed. Having been to the Ganwu auction and seen too many sector lords, Luo Feng could tell with one look that this silver-haired old man was a sector lord. All sit. The silver-haired old man smiled. Luo Feng too walked over and sat beside Hong and Thunder God. Luo Feng, there are 2 reasons behind my visit. 1, I really wanted to see this outstanding genius from our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. This silver-haired old man, even his beard was white, his entire being seemed amicable and kind, giving off a feeling of friendliness. 2, because His Majesty, yes, His Majesty is paying very close attention to you, he values you and wants to handsomely reward you. Luo Feng was shocked that Emperor probably didn't know about his past incident with the 9th Prince, Lord Bu Asuka. Actually, I didn't do anything, I just did some of my own things only. Luo Feng said, no. The silver-haired old man shook his head. Luo Feng, this endeavor of yours has brought huge honor to our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The countless citizens of the Empire are all proud because of you. You have given us immense contributions. Luo Feng could only sit there and listen intently. Originally, the Emperor wanted to give you a reward. The silver-haired old man looked at Luo Feng, however, he stopped when I advised him to not give you one temporarily. Luo Feng looked to the sector lord before him, even more clueless than before. I advised His Majesty, if Luo Feng is able to make it into the top 1,000 of the Ganwu universe country, then he'll give you a galaxy. The silver-haired man said, a galaxy? Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were all shocked. From what I know, your first planet territory is Earth. Hence, as long as you are able to make it into the Ganwu universe top 1,000, then Milky Way galaxy under the Silver Blue Empire will be yours. The silver-haired old man carefully examined Luo Feng and his brother's reaction. As he expected, Luo Feng and his brothers all revealed incredible shocked expressions. The Milky Way? That was the territory of the Silver Blue Empire. Relax, this is the Silver Blue Empire's Emperor Yi Wei. This matter is something the imperial family of the Silver Blue Empire has agreed upon. The silver-haired old man looked beside him. A handsome white-clothed man not too far away from him smiled and nodded at Luo Feng. I too have been wanting to meet Mr. Luo Feng. If Mr. Luo Feng can manage the Milky Way galaxy, that would be our Silver Blue Empire's honor. Luo Feng was stunned. Suddenly he realized and understood. Ganwu Universe Top 1000? One had to know that the Ganwu Universe country had over 100 million galaxies, on average. To be able to make it into the Ganwu Universe Top 1000, the warriors would probably all at least have domains of level 9, some even had comprehension of the origin laws. In the star level, and being so terrifying. These sort of geniuses, as long as they didn't die halfway and continued to grow, reaching the Sector Lord level was almost no problem. And these sort of geniuses who receive extra nurturing, they would become the strongest within the Sector Lord level. A Sector Lord would easily get a galaxy as a territory. Right now it was akin to giving a future Sector Lord a galaxy as territory. Even if Luo Feng died along the way of becoming a Sector Lord, the Black Dragon Mountain Empire and the Silver Blue Empire naturally had their own ways to reclaim the Milky Way. This reward is too huge. At the same time, making it into the top 1000 is incredibly difficult as well. Luo Feng's expression went ugly right. The silver-haired old man Asuka nodded and sighed. It is very difficult. Our country's martial strength is indeed weaker than the universe country's other star fields. In the previous competitions, we didn't even make it into the top 10,000. As for the top 1,000, it's been even longer since we even stepped into it. However, Luo Feng, you have hope. Here is some information that our empire has collected. The silver-haired old man pulled out a screen before him. He gently tapped it. I'll send these to you information. Luo Feng was suspicious. Simultaneously, Barbata alerted him that he received mail and there was an attachment on it, even though the eliminations weren't broadcasted. According to the names of the rankers, along with the already reputable strong star levels, we've collected quite a bit of information. The silver-haired old man smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. We've made a record of a total of 827 of the absolute geniuses that made it through this elimination round. They are all very well-known and reputable absolute geniuses in the Ganwu Universe country. Take a look, this information may prove useful to you during the arena fights. Oh? Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Good stuff. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. After knowing the opponent's trump cards and being prepared for the battle, his chances of victory were much better. Thanks. Luo Feng thanked him. No need. The silver-haired old man smiled and looked back. If you can make it into the top 1,000, Elder Asuka will in fact have to thank you. I'll work hard. Luo Feng nodded. Right, this is one of the hopes of our Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Make it into the top 1000 as you fight against the many geniuses from the other universe countries. At least, our Black Dragon Mountain Empire will have someone who's made it onto the universe human's big stage. The silver-haired old man's eyes gleamed with a sense of hope. He was a Sector Lord, and a very strong one at that. However, even amongst Sector Lords there were differences. This Sector Lord, compared to Jiang Qianchen, his position and power was much lower. And Jiang Qianchen, if compared to the virtual universe company Leviathan specially nurtured from young absolute geniuses, his position would be much lower. For the virtual universe company to have that level of Leviathan, they're specially nurtured geniuses. They were nurtured to not only become undying, but the strongest among the undying. Naturally, these were all too far away. From the star level to undying, it was too far and difficult. Many absolute geniuses have been stuck in the Sector Lord pinnacle for tens of millions of years before finally dying from old age. Work hard. In the Ganwu Universe arena, you represent the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. Even more so when you battle against the peak of the other universe countries. The silver-haired old man anticipated. Right. Luo Feng nodded. Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God gathered and spent 3 days going through the information of the many warriors. ATH world ranked 3rd? Stronger than me. Hong's expression was serious. The screen before them was displaying footage. In it was a golden-haired tall and sturdy man with a golden scale on his forehead. He used 2 huge blades and when he waved them, they would become blurry and the surroundings warped. Even though the blades were obviously there, when the opponent tried to block they would block only air. One slash and the opponents would die. This person's light domain seemed even more terrifying than Hong's. This is savage? He is indeed very strong. Luo Feng squinted, his eyes filled with excitement. Right, that's him. Thunder God nodded, indeed very strong. Hong's expression grew even heavier. Footage played continuously, many with words and information below. These were all the absolute geniuses' information the Black Dragon Mountain Empire had gathered. These geniuses, many of them were already well reputable even before the genius battle. They were already vied for and snatched up by many super organizations. This punk, Thunder God stared. A similarly bald strong-looking man in the footage actually used his fists as weapons as every punch was incredibly brutal and powerful. Using 3 days to finish watching everything, made both participants of the arena fights, Hong and Luo Feng, begin to feel the pressure. There were indeed many strong warriors, as many as the clouds. They were only at star level, yet they were able to comprehend the origin laws. This was akin to a step to heaven. However, with the size and population of the entire Ganwu universe country, there were actually a few hundred such people. Time passed, and in the blink of an eye, the date of the arena fights had approached. Xian Time Year 2066, July 16th, the day before the arena fights, virtual universe, on one of the floating continents above the Ganwu continent, there was an enormous meeting hall. The hall was extremely huge, with rows and rows of seating. This hall is really huge, it actually seats 100,000. Hong laughed as he exclaimed, "The seats are very spacious too." This is still average. In the Ganwu auction, the seating space for each person was incredible. And there were 3 million seats. You couldn't even see the end of the meeting hall. Luo Feng said softly to Hong, "Silence." A thick booming voice resounded. Immediately, the entire hall went silent. All that could be seen was a man dressed in a silver long robe who appeared at the highest podium at the front of the hall. His gaze swept past the 100,100 people below him. These were all the geniuses that made it through the elimination, the people that made it through the Ganwu universe country's elimination, 100,100 of you. The man in the silver long robe pointed beside him, and immediately a screen appeared with images of people. These 100 are the first of each world. Hence they immediately get awarded a spot in the final name list, and are eligible to represent the Ganwu universe country and go take part in the pinnacle fights against other countries, for the remaining 100,000. There are only 900 slots left on the list. The arena battles are separated into the arena war and the 1v1 battles. The silver-robed man continued to speak. "We'll first eliminate 90,000 people through arena war. The 100,000 will break into 1,000 groups, and every group will have 100. Each group will engage in mass battles on the arena, and the final remaining 10 are the ones that will be considered to have passed the arena war. Once you've passed the arena war, there will be only 10,000 of you left. These 900 slots will be filled from these 10,000. After the war, the 1v1 battles will begin." The silver long-robed man's gaze swept past the 100,100 geniuses below him, as discussions were rampant. The arena war, actually eliminating 90,000 people at one go. "Too vicious, I heard." Hong said softly, that last time the Black Dragon Mountain Empire was completely eliminated in the arena war, without anyone making it into the top 10,000. Luo Feng nodded. "During the elimination I barely made it into the top 1001. This arena war's elimination efficiency is extremely high." Hong said softly. Luo Feng replied, "Big brother, in a war it's really hard to say. You still have hopes of making it through the war. Then it'll come down to the 1v1 battles." Suddenly a screen appeared before every genius in the meeting hall. On it were numbers from 1 to 1,000 etc. "See the number before you? That is your group." The silver long-robed man roared. "Tomorrow will mark the beginning of the arena war. The first 200 groups will start tomorrow, and the entire war will last for 5 days and end after that." Luo Feng looked at the number before him, 382, while his big brother Hong beside was in group 161. "I wish all of you will be able to make it through the arena wars." The silver long-robed man's voice resounded throughout the entire meeting hall. "We'll now send everybody off. Go get prepared." The 100,100 geniuses within the meeting hall all suddenly vanished. This video will end